Viewers to our channel. Today we're gonna be giving you a treat, a very, very good treat. And we are gonna make sure that you identify with this project that we are doing because you're gonna see from start to finish how things are done. And remember, we are very scientific. We predict outcome, we know what is to be expected. Is not any slight of the and that we're not doing anything that is magical or anything. As a matter of fact, what we're doing, we're interacting with nature. We are doing something that has life. So here we are, our variegated lemon. See, it is bursting with flowers, and we have fruit here of different sizes. We are sizes. It's now preparing. This is a new flush or a new growth. So this one will start flowering to take over from this one. This one is now taking over from this one. But these are more advanced, so this will come in maturity, then these, and then finally this one. So it is a cycle of bearing. So if you notice, it's very ornamental. Some persons, as they see it, they say, "Oh, what a lovely flower! I like one," but it's really a variegated lemon. See, we have the bees. He's fascinated about the nectar that he's picking up. So we are doing something that is really, really nature friendly. And so what we're going to be focusing on now is our West Indian lime, the common lime. Here we have it's bursting with little fruit there that's gone to the flowering phase. So it is now bearing. So it start of fruit set, they call it. Here we have fruits, the more mature ones. They are setting it now, change from flower to fruit. Here's a little flower, the last of the flowering phase. See a little bunch right there. So then we have the little ones coming like on the same stem here. And then the more advanced one, which are like these. So, okay. So the science behind our selection is that we want to choose a portion of the bearing plant that has already born or active in bearing. Why? Because we want the same cells of memory. So we want the same information. It's now encoded in this stem here that are mature enough to be treated as a plant and a bearing plant when it is ready. Now, if you contrast it with this new growth, new flush, I would never select any from this because it's not encoded in this that these branches are ready for production. In contrast to this, we are selecting this one. Now, any bearing portion is good to be selected. All right, so let us look at this one. This is a good candidate here. And we are reminded about the portion how to cut. So here is, look at this one here. We have from here to here, that's one flush or one growth. From here to here is another, and from here to here is another. So this portion is okay to be chosen because here we have fruit on this portion. It's mature enough. But this part, we take it off. That's like a baggage. It's feeding heavily to develop its structure up there. So we take off that portion and keep growth. This is the part of growth, the first growth, second, and third. If you notice the joint or the node, one node, two nodes. So we are preparing this. So we leave this portion because this is where the root cell division going to be taking place. Cell division mean the swelling, as you would say, of this portion, and you have cell differentiation, so that you have some cells gonna go to make cambium layer and parts to which will eventually develop into roots. And the inner part, the woody part, will still remain the xylem, which would be taking minerals in a liquid form, in a solution, up to the leaves where the food is produced and go back down to the root portion. And that is how the food cycle within a stem takes place. So we, uh, we, we have to be careful how we describe this because this is not a plant. A plant is characterized by having a root system and a shoot system. So this as it is just a part of a plant. And this type, broadly speaking, there are two types of, of plant propagation. You have the sexual and the asexual. The sexual means from seeds. And we will go on to that in another video. But what we are doing now is vegetative propagation or asexual propagation, meaning that stem and leaf, part of the plant. Until it root, it's not a plant. It's just a part of the plant. And we call this portion the stem. So in fact, what we are doing stem cutting, which we refer to as cloning, because this we are going to be getting just what as the parents is giving us. The taste, shape, and color, among other things, that have been duplicated. So that is why it is known as a clone, a, a perfect replica of the parent. This is a parent. Now, can you imagine if you have a plant like this and your skill on plant propagation, how much of this you could get within 1 hour of cutting, doing a selection, and preparing them for rooting? You could do, well, in my case, I can do up to 300 within an hour. So I'll just come here with my basket and I'll cut, stop them in it. I can put this on the ground and we take off this portion. It's a nice portion. So just cut it right here. See the baby lime is on it. It's not out of malice or so that I do it. It's not big to really get this bearing just like what it is doing when it is rooted. Here's another one. Okay. So what I'm gonna be doing, move to my table. Okay, so we are ready. I'm at my little table here to do the demonstration. Here I have a lovely backdrop. My variegated surprise bougainvillea. Variegated meaning the leaves are quite colorful, quite ornamental, and surprise because you don't know what color you'll get during the blooming phase. You can get straight white or you can get a mixture of the pink and the white together. So it is known as a variegated surprise. But the focus is on our production here. Here, this is how it is done. We make sure we cut at an angle just to increase the surface area. If you cut straight like this, you wouldn't have as much surface area. It's an oval shape. If you had cut in a round form like this, then you find that you'd reduce the surface area. So this is perfect for setting. Okay, now here, and that's not, I'm showing you these things, but it's not what you're thinking. We have the white rum, we have water, and we have the rooting hormone or rooting powder. And I will explain. I don't drink this thing, I just use it in my demonstration. The plant loves it in a measurable way. So what we're doing is that the white rum, the purpose of the white rum, it acts as an antiseptic, antiviral, antibacterial. It is also a vehicle to take the active ingredients in the rooting hormone or powder, IBA, indole butyric acid. So the white rum acts as a vehicle that takes the potency, which is IBA, which is the active ingredient in this, straight to the cell. So that is why we are using the white rum. The purpose as a vehicle, or we call it a potentiator, and it cleans the surface. So we are not expecting any bacteria or fungal or viral infestation on this portion. So here we go. And the ratio of mixing is a teaspoon, of the rooting powder, Yes. This portion, a teaspoon. I have a good judgment. I should have used a plastic one, but this is really a teaspoon. I have a cup here, so I'm going to be pouring inside the cup. So that's a ratio. The ratio is, if we take in consideration the rooting powder, we're going to use the first number, which is 1. The white rum, half teaspoon, in the same cup with the powder. And we are going to be using 4 water. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's smelling quite inviting, but I won't go there. Okay, so we have a fruit here, so we're going to take off the fruit. Why taking off the fruit is that the fruit will really be demanding from the stem here. So we want the focus to be on rooting than fruit development. So what we're doing is not to get rid of the leaves. We are reducing the leaf because, the leaves are the factory or the source for food production. And the act of producing food put a stress on the system of the plant. So we are reducing the leaves. So less transpiration and more retention of moisture on the surface area for the process of food production, food production for photosynthesis to take place here. So here we go. We just put them in the mixture here. So we have a mixture of the white rum, the water, and the rooting hormone or powder. I've done some before in this thing here, quite a bit. So we are going to be completing, in the interest of time, we're going to be completing this surgery. So what we have done is to get this thing. Please do not use any sand, any dirt, as they would say, or soil. We need something like this, whether it is the germinated mix or the all-purpose potting soil with little vermiculite in it, little perlite in it, and the peat moss. It makes for a good, basically sterile medium, devoid of contaminant, pathogen that will cause this adhere to the start rot. So we fill these cells. In this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we go down the line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in this tray cell tray, we have 50 plants. So we're going to poke them, say, halfway, and it should be compacted. It shouldn't be loose. We want, once we stick them in the medium, they stand erect. Yeah. And these will be rooted within the next month. And we always leave an allowance of month to another 2 months. Sorry, this will root within 4 weeks or 1 month. And we make an allowance for another week or 2 weeks for the further development of the roots. Sometimes they develop, but they are not strong enough to be taken out of the cell, and we don't want to really rupture or break the roots. So we give an allowance of another week or 2. Now, after a 4-week period, we can start fertilize them using a mild solution of the 2020 fertilizer, which will energize them and give the emerging root energy to start grow and develop into plants. Because this is the only time we're going to be referring to it as plant, when they establish proper root. So we want, when we're taking them, transition them from the cell tray to their permanent container, they are perfectly done. So here we have completed this 50 of these, 50 of them. And because I treat this in a scientific way, please note, because I treat this in a scientific way, I'm going to show you a finished tray. So let me, okay, so it's the same size tray. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 10. That is 50 plants are inside because they are fully rooted. Now, even look here, we have flooring taking place. Yes, it's not unusual because as we say, we select mature portion of the parent. So there's no surprise. So we want to look at the roots. You may not see all the roots here, but some are really embedded in the medium. So here we are roots. Some of them are coiled inside each cell tray, but they are all fully rooted. I've done a test on them and found that they're all rooted. So in other words, I've done it 100% teak because it was done approaching it from a scientific point of view. So it's 100% teak. Now there's a transition that will take place. The transition is to take them out. Let us try get out one here. We squeeze the bottom here. Make sure the medium, this, this is dislodged from the walls of the cells. Here, this is accepted. This is good. And I'm going to show you another one. His brother right beside him. There you go. Fully rooted. Okay, so we are okay with this 100% take. So here we have the finished product. So the transition is from the cell trays. There's a third one here. They are fully rooted and they are marketed in this container. These are the 6 inches pots. They are fully rooted, and what you normally do is to take them, if you were to buy one of these, my take on it is that you transition them to, say, a 17-inch pot like this one here, and this would be a permanent fixture. So you get quantities out of a size pot like this one here. I can show you a pot that we have done. It's in full bearing. If you come here, this is another citrus type, but this is a passing brown orange. She is sitting comfortable in this 17-inch pot. She has been bearing for the past 4 years. And if you notice, her size is subdued. It's not getting humongous where we have to be climbing or get tapped and fall over it. Has been bearing profusely over a period of time. Here we have the lemon that has been bearing for quite a while, few years now. And then we have our another citrus type, or tangerine, a dying breed, if I may say so, a dying breed. So I'm going to be doing some propagation of tangerine, and this is the fat, juicy tangerine. All right, viewers, we are coming to the final part of propagation by stem cutting in a citrus type. So in that type, we were looking at the West Indian lime, the common lime, and we went over to the different citrus type. But here, this is my star lady. You see, she's flooring all over. All over she's flooring and bearing at the same time. Here we have okay, here's advance. Yes, we have eaten the bigger portion already, and we are preparing now to eat more of the same. If you notice, it's in a half a jump, and it is in the half a jump to stay. So please tune in. We have lots more stuff. Viewers, it gonna be a learning, a new awakening in terms of propagation. We have lots to do. We have plant propagation, nursing management. We have landscaping to do. We have pest and disease identification and control. We have medium design and management, and the list goes on and on and on. There's no boundary gonna be restricting us in terms of what we can do here. It's gonna be a learning process, and please tune in. The next one we are going to be doing is a continuation of our fig. They are doing very well. So the next video that we are going to be doing is to focus on removing the fig and plant them in their individual container. So we are signing out. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, and you can keep the link, ask question, and we'll try to answer as much. Thanks.